Hello there. For our final project, it's with Daniel Watkins and James Nance. What we decided to do for it was we wanted to create a paint application. Okay, so there are a few different features that you can do with this paint application. And the reason why I wanted to make this paint application is that after all of this is over, we can go back and we can add some things to it because there are a lot more tools than this that you can use in a standard painting application, and it'd be pretty cool to work with. So in this, what we have so far is we have a pen tool, which allows you to mark on the screen with a very small pen, really. It's like you're writing on paper. And then there's a brush tool, which is thicker than the pen tool. You have an eraser that you can use to wipe out everything that you don't want. There's a size tool to where you can change all of the three things above, and then there's also almost an endless number of different colors that you can choose from. And the reason why I don't have this full screen right now is because I also want to switch back and forth with this, so let me go ahead and demonstrate some of those things that I just talked about. Okay, so here it is. This is what it looks like. Oh, wait, I have to run it. Sorry, that was just the design. Okay, here's the pencil, here's the brush, here's the eraser. This will change the size, this will give you a random color, and these are just standard colors they can choose from, so you don't have to go through all of this. But yeah, you can just choose a color. Here's the pen tool whenever you use it. Here's the brush, it's a little thicker than the pen. Here's the eraser, which pretty much is just like the brush, but it's just set to the same color as the background. And here is the size tool, which changes the size of that. Okay, you can try out some different colors here. Oops. That. Change this down. So yeah, that's mostly what we can do with it so far. There are also other few options but I'll get onto that on the next part. Okay, moving on to the other features of this. Alright, aside from the more artistic side, there are other options that you can choose. For instance, under File, you can find most of these. New, what New will do is it will clear out everything that's in the picture box, because that's what you draw on. You draw on a picture box using bitmaps, and it'll make it blank, it'll start it over, to where you can have a clean start. You didn't like what you did before, you can have a clean start. The save option will save whatever picture, whatever you've done to the object inside of the picture box, and you can access it later. The open allows you to import a picture and put it on the picture box in the program. The print, well, that's self-explanatory. And what the view does, view's not under the file menu, it's under its own. And what it does is it opens a separate form that allows you to view what all you've done so far. Like if you've drawn on something and you want to preview it, like if it's too big to fit within the editing space, you can view everything in a more shrunk down size. Okay, so back over here, let's go ahead and test out some of these things. Okay, we're going to click File. Well, let's go ahead and draw some things on here. Whoops, I have to click down all the way. There's that. Let's draw whatever. If we click New, get that to go away. There we go. But yes, as you can see, whatever we draw, you can just click new and it gets rid of it. Okay, the next thing is the save. So if you want to save a picture, here's our beautiful little snake or something we drew. Go ahead and save it, call it whatever, and then whenever we open this, where did I just save that to? I believe it's in pictures. Oh, here it is. Oh. I don't know why it doesn't show right there, but it is there. It's just my computer's acting up a little bit. Let me open it with Photo Gallery. Yeah, see? There we go. There it is. Gotta love Windows 10. Anyways, that's the save feature. Let's go down to, whoops. Let's go down to the open feature, which allows us to open up a picture. Here's a picture of some cats. We can edit the cats, like see how some of them are cut off. If we want to get rid of this, we can. Get rid of this, we can. Then we can save. And here it is. Open up Photo Gallery, and now all that stuff is gone. Okay. Now print, well, I don't feel like printing something off right now, but if you click the print, what it'll do is it'll print everything within this window. Exit, well, it'll exit. View, this opens up another form. I'm actually going to use a different picture for this. I don't want to use this one. Let me open. I think this one's big. Yeah, that one's pretty big. And whenever you view it like that, actually, let's go ahead and erase something. There we go. Erase. We can view the changes that we've done. Okay, and there are also a few things that I'd like to talk to you about specifically on certain parts with the coding. Okay, this is a little excerpt from the code that deals with changing the color of the pixels based on whether you click the mouse down and move it. Like, for instance, you have to click the left mouse button to activate the things that are in that sub-procedure. And this sub-procedure in particular deals with whenever you move it as the other button is held down. So E represents the location of our mouse. So this first one right here in this if statement, if pin is pin, which just means if you're using the pin, if you have the pin button click down, you're going to draw a line, and this part right here, the E.X, E.Y, that specifies where your mouse currently is, and X and Y, just that will give you your initial starting point of where there's going to be a line drawn for the pin. For instance, let me go ahead and show you something if I was to change one of these things. Like, where is it? Here it is. if I was to change these right here to 0, then I will still be tracked by where my mouse is. However, the point that I click down, it goes to that initial point in particular. It goes, well, it's actually pretty neat looking, but that's essentially how that stuff will work. Let me go ahead and change this back to X. And even if we just leave it like this, make it to where there's no Y specified, or, well, it's specified at 0 in particular. And we're locked right here. It'll create a line descending from the Y-axis all the way down to wherever the mouse is. And same with the X, it'll just come from the left-hand side if we set it to 0. Okay, back to the PowerPoint. Alright, and it's very, very similar for the brush too. Another part is down here, y or x is equal to e dot x. That gives us the point where our mouse is. Like if I was to take this out, it will lock our initial starting point from where we first click on the tool or on the picture. It locks that point in to where you can still track your X and Y in relation to where you move, but it'll always go back to that. Again, they're pretty cool looking features, but not necessary if you're trying to draw a specific object. But it'd be pretty cool for someone doing, I guess, comic books. It'd be pretty cool. Okay, and for the last part that I want to touch up on is the coding for the second form. What gave me the most problems with this was right here. This handles the picture in the first object, in the first form, I mean. Like, I kept trying to switch over the picture box from form 1, and I recognized that that just was not working. Like, say I was to open an object in the first form, and then I tried to view it. It would give me the version that I had saved, but it would not import, like, the differences that I've made to it. Like, if I edited the picture, it won't show that. It will just show what I had saved. So I recognized I had to change it from image, or from picture box to image, and that made things work a whole lot smoother. And pretty much what it does down here is, upon loading, if the picture is out of the bounds of the specified box, like if it's greater than 467 by 710, then it's going to be zoomed in. That's how the picture box is going to display it in this form. Otherwise, it's just displayed like how it normally would be.